Hi there and welcome. These are your handover videos for your Swift Sprite Grande Major 4 SB. This particular one, dealer special Sunrise 880. These are a basic walkthrough on how to set up and operate the caravan as if you were coming on or off site. Starting off first, we have your black hitch head here with lever that you have to have pulled up. You can then wind down the jockey wheel onto the tow bar. It will snap down that handle, push up that red ring and expose a green ring at the bottom. You have your breakaway cable just here. Now the guarantee states if you have an eye point it has to be used, if not wrap it around the tow bar. Handbrake, to disengage just press down, and to engage just push up. They do come up with a fair bit of force, so make sure that your face isn't in the way. You have your jockey wheel here, which is used to level the caravan, and then we have 13-pin electric, so if you do have 7-pin adaptation, make sure to bring yourself an adapter. Then 2 points either side and 2 points at the back, we have inserts for your legs. The caravan itself will come with a leg winder, or alternatively you can get yourself a 19mm drill bit and a power drill just to make it that bit quicker. Do not attempt to jack up or level the caravan using your legs. Now we're using our test equipment today here, so I have a red propane gas bottle here. I'd always recommend propane over butane just because it has better performance in the cold. Connected to it we have an in-date gas hose. Now this gas hose is dated 2025. Black gas hoses will run for 5 years. Now that goes from the bottle onto this regulator just here. The regulator is situated at the top, and if it ever does pop out, you have a tool inside as well. Hand tighten that as much as you physically can, and then just nip it up using a spanner. You don't want it ridiculously tight, as inside the gas hose there is a washer that can have excess pressure put on it, causing it to crack and break. Moving along this side, we have your flue. Your flue is used to get clean air in and out of your boiler when operating on gas. Don't have to do anything with this except make sure it's nice, clean and tidy. Then we're not running water through today, as the temperatures are rather cold. That's the fact the caravan has been fully drained off. However, this is your water hose here. To remove, you press it on the trigger and pull out. To push it in, all you have to do, simply push. Can't be removed without pressing in that trigger. Then you have this blue cap to go over the top of the acroll to make sure no nastiness gets in, and then at the bottom we have your strainer. Now it's crucial that the strainer sits at the bottom of the barrel, as otherwise air can get drawn through, causing airlocks. Now as you can see, they do have a bit of a tendency to curl up, so my recommendation is, rather than straighten it out before every use, get some PVC piping or something like that so it's always straight. Next to it we have your battery locker. This example does have a battery situated in here. If you ever need to connect, it's with a 12 or 13mm spanner. Then mains lead is just here, plugs in nice and simple. Then you have a little cutout to be able to shut up the locker. Motor mover will be gone over on collection. Then you have these 2 points here, which is where your wastewater will come out of. You'll need some 28.5mm pipe to then feed into a waste master. Then lastly we have your toilet function. So first up we have your cassette. To remove it, press up on the orange handle and pull out towards you. Now this handle does also extend out and up and can be used similar to a carry-on suitcase. Then once you're at your emptying point on side, twist this head to the side, open up this cap. You want to tilt, and at the same time as tilting, continually pressing your vent button. My recommendation is afterwards to open up this capacity, add in some fresh water, give it a bit of a shake, and again tilt and vent just to make it smell a bit nicer. Then on your cap you have measurements in both imperial and metric, and that is for your blue chemical. Blue chemical goes into there, back onto the cap, slot in the cassette, so the orange handle sits behind the white teeth. And up above we have your flush tank. Now your flush tank has a capacity of around 12 litres, however I wouldn't recommend putting in any more than 10, as you don't want to overfill the compartment. You can also add a bit of pink chemical, which works as a bleach without being corrosive and makes it smell nicer. Do not put bleach inside the tank or inside the toilet, as it is plastic and it will corrode it. Now you don't want to travel with either of these two full, so just up here got a little bung to drain off any remaining water from the flush tank. The caravan itself will be fully drained off when you collect it. Then underneath your right hand side front lounge, you have all of this here, so I wouldn't recommend storing anything under. That there is your boiler if you ever need to remove a panel for a reset. And then these here situated on the side are the flow jets. Now what they do is they pull through the water, which all come through these blue leads. Now that yellow switch there is your drain valve. When it's pointing up as it is now, that is in drain mode, meaning that any water in the system will be drained off. That is how you will collect the caravan. November to March have that up permanently unless you're actively using the caravan, and anytime you come off site, make sure that you leave with it up in the upright position. It's especially important over winter just because you don't want any frozen pipes that can crack and break. I am awful today, Jesus. Then on the side, this is the motor mover brain box. Again, if you need to do a panel reset, it's against there. Then you have your trips and your fuses, all your trips in the upright position and all your fuses in the correct position as well. I would recommend carrying some extra fuses across the van. Then at the end, you can see heating and hot water and charger both illuminated, showing that they are both working. The battery charger is situated on the side here. You then have a reverse polarity button just there if you're ever abroad, and a complete system shutdown button. Press that in, nothing inside the van is able to operate. This white box on the side, that is your battery box. And if you need some more information on your trips and fuses, you can pull down this panel and it will tell you a bit more. Then above here we have your main control panel. So we have the on and off switch just here, and right now you can see mains is coming into the caravan. If it was plugged into car, it would show that being illuminated there. I can view the levels of either the vehicle battery or the leisure battery by pressing in either this button or the respective buttons for them. Now, as I'm plugged into mains, that will show the amount coming from the mains, which is 14 volts at the moment. However, if I only had the leisure battery on, that would show only the amount from that. I have internal lights on this button, which I can then use my respective light switches. I then have awning light just here, which press that in and you can see awning light on just there. Then lastly, I have the water pump button. So I press that in. What would happen is the green light would come up above. The water would be drawn from outside into the boiler using the water pump, and you'd have a aqua full of clean drinking water and it will get pulled through. Then you will come over to your tap, open up on both cold and hot, and what you're looking for is a nice steady continuous stream. Any coughs and splutters, double check that the strainer is set at the bottom of the barrel, aqua is full of water and your drain valve's in the correct position. Then here we have your Truma control panel. So this is for your heating and your hot water. So it's currently off right now with the green screen. However, you've got a back button. You then have a dial which you can press in on. So first up, you have the caravan with a thermometer in it. This is for the internal temperature of the caravan that you desire. Press in, goes up to a maximum of 30 using the dial, and to select, press in as well. Next, we have your water temperature. So it's either off, eco, hot or boost. Eco will get the water temperature to around 40 degrees, hot will get it to about 60, and boost will prioritise heating that over heating the actual caravan for about 15 minutes, and then drop it back down to eco. You can also see whatever I've selected will show up on the top row. Next, we have your energy source. So we can either use gas, mixture of gas and 1 kilowatt, mixture of gas and 2 kilowatt, strictly electric with 1 kilowatt, or strictly electric with 2. Again, represented on the top row. Then we have fan speed. So we either have eco, high or boost. Boost is prioritising heating the van over heating the actual water. However, if I don't have the heating on at all, let's go over here, off, and we go to the side to the fan. Oops, sorry, that's 1, 2, 4. It's either off or vent. Now what vent does, it circulates the air across the caravan using your vents and just pushes the air that's in it. So if you had a nice day, unlike today, you could open up all your windows and have a bit of fresh air come in. Then we have a timer just here, so it allows you to start and stop when you'd like the heating and hot water to come on. First input your start time, now it is a 24-hour clock, and then your finish time. Then you have the correct time, so it's currently not 20 minutes past midnight. I've just had the van set up for 20 minutes. And then the last one is the spanner, which is for your settings. So offset, temperature, brightness, 12 or 24-hour clock, language, index, and reset. I'm not going to run through that, as we've set this panel to what we believe is the most user-friendly to use. However, if you'd like to learn what they all mean, please have a look inside your book pack. This screen will go grey when it's not being interacted with. However, when you want this completely off, press and hold in, turn itself off, and if I just do a quick interaction, nothing works. So you just do the same again, press and hold in, turns it back on. Then here we have your toilet operation, which is bog simple. Lift up the lid, press in this button, and you can hear that whir. That is the motor that will push around any water that's inside the flush tank. To remove your waste, press away on this handle, opens up the catch, pull it back towards you to shut it up, as you have to have it shut up to be able to remove the cassette from outside. When the cassette is full, however, there'll be a red light on there telling you to empty. Then you have your hob grill and oven. All of this operates off gas, so all you have to do, press the dial, twist it to the side and press your ignite. Now, it may be a case that the flames will light up and then cut out. That is natural, that's the gas just making its way through the system. Just relight and it will all work. This is what it looks like when they're all lit, and you can see here all flames are on. Turn it off back to the central position. Same concept for your grill, so press in, twist to the side. Now you can see one side that's lit up there. Now if I redo it, both sides lit. Then lastly we have your oven. Now do make sure as well with your oven that you don't have the actual grate in the way, because it can disturb it, meaning that it won't light properly. Only other real thing to note, you need to travel with this glass sheet down, but don't put it down until all the burners are nice and cold. You can also travel with your gas bottle in its holster and with the hose connected to the regulator, but make sure that the bottle itself is off. And then lastly, we have your fridge operation. So the fridge is currently off. You do have child locks on the top as well. Then to turn this on, press and hold in. It will flash up and go to its most recent memory, which in this case is mains on full capacity. I can change the mode between 4 by pressing mode. So press it in once, goes to auto. Now auto automatically selects mains the best source to use. Now when I press it again, it's going to go over to this battery symbol. The battery symbol is only representative of when you are towing with 13-pin electric. So when I press it in, it begins to flash up and beep. So we'll go over to gas. Now for gas, my recommendation is to check through all of your hob grill and oven first to make sure that it's lighting. Then you can select gas. Now you might hear it gradually tick in and then finish ticking. You don't have to do anything, that automatically does it. Then we have the amount of power coming into the fridge. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 being the most powerful, but even on the most powerful setting, it is going to take around 4 hours to fully chill. And when the fridge is on, the lights are on inside. Then to turn this off, press and hold in, turns itself off.